things are there, right? Most of the times what happens is everything is available on the YouTube, maybe the Google or the chat GPT, but it is not just about having the resources across, right? It is about somebody who can mentor you, who can guide you, right?
So, hi everyone, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Career Catalyst podcast, season 2. And today we have a very special guest with us. He is a cybersecurity expert and he has over a decade of experience in the industry. And in fact, he is here with a mission to teach and train over 1 million people who want to start their career in the cybersecurity industry. So, please welcome Mr. Nilesh Sharma we have with us today. Hi Nilesh, how are you doing?
Hi Akriti, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk and inspire people who are cyber aspirant. And I'm doing great. I believe all your listeners are also doing great along with you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are doing amazing. So, Nilesh, you have an impressive background in cybersecurity, right? So, you have a lot of certifications under your belt. We have CISM, CISSP, and we also have CCSP. So, what inspired you to begin your journey in cybersecurity? How did you start? And let's go back in time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did not start in cybersecurity in the first place. So I am from a very humble family. I upbring in a very small village, and from there I started schooling in my own village. For sixth standard onwards, I needed to go nearby school, right, nearby village for schooling. And that's how I started growing up. After passing 12th, one of my friends suggested to not doing the simple plain graduation, right, rather we can go with some computer courses. And that's where I choose to go with BCA, Bachelor of Computer Applications. We completed that graduation from Chhattisgarh only. And then in one of the conversation, one of my friends suggested that we should go to Delhi, and then we should look for some networking related courses, right? So we came back to Delhi, and then we started looking at where we can do the networking and hardware related courses, because in 2000s era, basically, the hardware and networking in computer field was so demanding, right? So that's where I started my career. I would say education on the hardware and networking field. And after completing that course, I landed a job in one of the BPO in Mathura Road within Delhi NCR. And then I started working as a desktop support engineer over there. So from desktop support engineer, I switched from desktop support engineer to Active Directory administrator, right? That is basically identity and access management tool from Microsoft, and it has some security component within it, right? So that's how my career started. I did not land this cybersecurity job initially. I did not land a cybersecurity job in starting, right? So initially, I worked in a BPO as a desktop support engineer, and from there, I switched my career from desktop support engineer to Active Directory support engineer, and then from Active Directory support engineer to identity and access management, and then I got multiple opportunity within Accenture and other companies like EY to work on data privacy in production, security architecture and engineering, governance, risk and compliance. And that's how it started. So it was not a smooth transition from desktop support engineer to cybersecurity, because it requires a lot of upskilling, learning new things, unlearning the existing knowledge or things like that. So that's how it started, Akriti, basically.
That was an amazing journey starting from a desktop engineer to landing a job in cybersecurity. So, you said the transition wasn't smooth. So, did you take help of certifications to move ahead in your career ladder, or were you like doing gaining knowledge from your peers or upskilling yourself?
working on any specific tools or technology within cybersecurity is one thing, but understanding about the whole nuances about that particular tools and technologies are more important than anything else. So certifications help you to polish your knowledge. That is one thing. Second thing is you go into the deep understanding of that particular tools and technology, how it works, what is the core functionality within that particular tool, and how it can contribute to solve existing customers problem, right? So certification is not just about just adding another feather on your shoulder, but just to enhance your knowledge, understand the client challenges from deep, and then providing the right solution which meet the business requirement. Because cybersecurity is not just about tools, technologies, and working on them, right? It is a business enabler. Whenever we say cybersecurity, it's a business enabler, right? The core functionality within cybersecurity is to understand the business associated risk and mitigating them to bring it down to the acceptable level, basically. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's amazing. So basically, do you think that each of the organization has their own, subjective cybersecurity nuances that the engineers need to implement, or is there, a standard rule that an engineer or an aspiring cybersecurity engineer can go on so that they can, implement all those measures?
No, so Agriti, basically what I suggest is I have even written article in LinkedIn, right? There are many people, right, who all did not get opportunity to start their career in the cybersecurity field, right? So basically they get some other rules, right? So nowadays what happens is people do engineering from any of the colleges. Organizations go to those colleges, right, and they hire resources from college to campus sort of program they run, right, across the organizations. So what happened? They hire resources in a bulk from the colleges, and then they align those resources across different verticals within the organization. It could be cybersecurity, it could be the application development, it could be the database. Based on the need of an hour for that particular organization, they distribute those newly hired college fresh students across different verticals within the organizations, right? So sometimes what happens is if individual is interested to work on the cybersecurity, but due to the situation at that moment when he or she was hired for any specific role, not everybody will get the opportunity to work on the cybersecurity. So what I suggest to people who in who are in the different field, but they are aspiring to switch their career on the cybersecurity field, they would need to put more focus towards learning the cybersecurity and how they can start it, whatever they are doing. So take an example: if somebody got hired from college and he or she was aligned in a network team, take an example, right, or maybe the server team, right? They are doing the server administration or network administration, but they are interested to work on the network security or maybe the server security or the overall security, any of the domain of the security, right? So what they can start is they can do what they are doing, right, as per the job role, right, administering the network, administering the servers. But at the same time, they can also start learning what could be the security aspects of this particular activity they are performing, right? They can collaborate with the security team. They can understand what those security team is doing on day to day basis to monitor those servers or network devices from the security perspectives. And based on that, they can get some guidance from them. They can start learning, they can upskill themselves from the security side of things specific to that particular domain, and that would be the better starting point. There are many people who approaches me in the LinkedIn, and they feel that they have started their career on other domain, not cybersecurity, and they just lost those days, those weeks, those hours for which they have worked on any other domain, right? Then I suggest them it's not a waste of time, right? Because whatever knowledge you have gained or anybody has gained, not on the cybersecurity but in the network administration, server administration, database administration, those are going to help you to make your foundation strong, right? Because cybersecurity is kind of not just driving factor, as I said, right? It's a business enabler. So you need to understand everything, right? How database work, how the functionalities, how the architecture of the database is. In a similar note, you need to understand how network is structured, what is the architecture, what are the routers, what are the switches, right? So we need to know everything, right? Because we want to protect those assets along with the data within the organization, right? So none of the knowledges from IT background is waste. Even though you are interested to work on the cybersecurity, those knowledges will aid more perspective, more strong foundation within you to make you best cybersecurity professionals basically.
Okay, so that was a great take for someone who was, starting out in the networking industry. But Nilesh, what about those people, who have just freshly graduated from college and they're really, aspiring to become a cybersecurity engineer? So in that part, would you recommend, certifications, or would you recommend them jumping directly into the industry to work hands-on? Or what's your recommendation?
So, Akriti, basically, what I would suggest is nowadays people from colleges get influenced by others, right? So they don't know how cybersecurity work. What are the deep understanding they should have in order to start their career in the cybersecurity? There are many things, right? Not everybody is born in this planet to do everything, right? We cannot expect monkey to swim like a fish, right? So that's exactly the same thing happens with the people, right? People basically looks at the Google, or they get some guidances from some of the people from their environment, and they get to hear that cybersecurity is demanding domain. They should start their career in that domain or things like that. But that's not how the things work, right? They really need to understand what is cybersecurity, what are their subdomains, right? So when I say cybersecurity, there are many domains, right? Just to name few, identity and access management is one field, compliance, risk and governance is another field, GRC we call it out, right? Data protection and privacy is another field, right? Then we have threat and vulnerability management, right? TVM we call, in some organization we say it TAME, right? Threat exposure management, right? Then we have many fields within the cyber security. They really need to understand in which field they want to start their career, right? And based on that they can look at the path, right? It is like you going to railway station and asking the ticket master, just give me a ticket, I want to go somewhere, right? And then you did not get any ticket from the ticket master, right, within the railway station. The same thing happens with the students nowadays who wants to start their career on cyber security, AI or machine learning, whatever it is, right? We need to be very specific, and we can be specific only when we know where we are more focused, where we have more interest towards, right? So that understanding will only come when they will do some research. So the first suggestion I would give to every aspirant, cyber security aspirant who are new to the industry is just understand what are the different fields within the cyber securities are, where you are inclined more towards, and based on that, once you are certain that this is the cybersecurity domain where you want to start your career. Take an example, if somebody is interested to start their career in identity and access management, then they can start focused learning on the identity and access management, right? But just when we say I am interested in cybersecurity, when you type cybersecurity in the Google or maybe the chat GPT, you will get a lot of things, right? Some link will talk about identity access management, some link will talk about the data privacy and protection, some link will talk about architecture engineering. So there are many things, right? So first of all the students who are a cybersecurity aspirant, they should do some research. They should convince themselves that this is the cybersecurity field on which they want to start their career against, and then they should start the focus learning basically. Yeah.
Okay, so that was indeed, giving clarity to people, because a lot of people they jump directly in because thinking that security is the buzzword, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a vague. Yeah, it's a vague statement, Akriti, right? Like, I want to go somewhere. I want to start my career on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not a small field, right? Which you can learn each and everything, and then you can just jump on a career, right? It's not like that. You need to be specific. You need to, until and unless you are specific, you don't have plan to take any action, right? You cannot start studying. You cannot have a plan when you are going to focus on the study, what all the topics you are going to cover in a specific day. That will come only when you have absolute clarity in which cybersecurity domains you want to start your career.
All right, all right. So let's just break it down like even more for our audience. So let's consider the scenario that Nilesh, like I myself, I have zero knowledge about cybersecurity. So I want to begin a career in cybersecurity, and then I go on Google, and then I find these trends that AI integration with cybersecurity, and I come across CHV13 certification and the CompTIA certifications as well. So, and I am more aligned to going into hacking and stuff, because a lot of people, and I see a lot of youth is actually interested in going into hacking, because of maybe the knack for hacking devices or anything. It would be anything. So what would be your suggestion, because a lot of youth, in fact even people who are still studying in their school, or like you can say even after 12th, they are like really active about starting their career in cybersecurity. So what's your take on that, or what advice would you give them?
Right, as I said, right, Akriti. So basically, as you said, you are beginner. You don't have any knowledge on the cybersecurity, but you want to start your career on the maybe hacking side of thing, right? So when we say hacking, again, it is again part of the research you need to do, right? So within hacking, we have multiple different teams in the corporates, right? One is the offensive, defense, right? Offensive. Another one is defensive, right? So when you work on an organization, you get to see two different things, like red team is offensive. They act as a external hacker who is trying to penetrate the organization's assets or the data, right? They are they are a team who's actually working like a hacker, right? They don't, I mean, again, if I go deep on that red teaming, then what will happen is there are three different type of aspects within the red teaming. Black box hacking, right? Or black box red teaming, where what happens is the people who is part of the red team does not know anything about the organization, right? They only know whatever is publicly available. So take an example. You are working for any organization and you want to outsource the red team to some other organization, right? So if you want to do the black box red teaming, then what you are going to do is you are not going to provide any information to that red team, right? They will collect whatever information is publicly available, and based on that they will try to penetrate your network. That is one thing, right? The second thing is white box red teaming. There you provide the complete information, how many network devices are there, how many servers are there, how the servers and network devices are placed within the organizations, and based on that they will start the hacking. This is what you need to do as part of the research, right? This is part of the offensive one, right? When you say defensive is a blue team within the organization. When red team will try to penetrate your organization, there would be a blue team, right, who will try to protect your organization from those red teaming, right? This is a plan, right? This is a simulated one, right, where you have a red team who will try to penetrate your organization. You have another team who is a blue team, who is defensive, basically, who is trying to protect your organization. They will use the internal control security devices or security measures they have and protect from this red teaming, right? And based on this teaming, there is another third team called the purple teaming, right? So initially what used to happen is red team used to work on isolation, blue team used to work on isolation, right? This two teams never had a conversation between them, and that's where there was a bigger gap. And that's where organizations introduced the third team, that is the purple teaming. Purple teaming's main purpose is to have a collaboration between the red teaming and blue teaming, so that they can make the organization's security defense more attractive, more strong, more secure, right? So when you do the research within Google or Chat GPT, you will get to know about the specific to that particular hacking stuff, right? Like three things: defensive, offensive, right? And within defensive, offensive, you have another team called the purple team, who is making the collaboration between offensive team and defensive team, right? So this is what you need to know. You cannot be hacker offensive, you cannot do defensive, and purple team, all three you cannot do in the starting, right? Initially, you need to you just either focus on the offensive one or the defensive one or the purple teaming, and then you can just enter in any of the organization. You can gain more and more knowledge over there, and within that you can make a switch over from maybe defensive to offensive, or maybe offensive defensive to the purple teaming, right? So that's how it should be, Akrit. That's where I said, right? Whenever you have any thoughts in your mind, do some research, try to understand the complete nuances about those particular field, and then start building your knowledge against it. And then absolutely you can definitely join LinkedIn forums where the hacking stuff is discussed. You can add your opinions over there. You can like, comment, share those discussions right across different forums, and that will give the great learning on the real world, whatever is happening.
Okay. That was really insightful, Nilesh. So, what if I want to start my career in the purple team? Like, is there any defined path, or should I go for a certification?
I don't know for the specific purple teaming what is the certification requirement, but for defensive, right? For defensive, you need to be part of the security operations center, right? And there are many certifications, right? Like OSCP is one of the certification, right? Which is for offensive. Right, ethical hacking, but the CompTIA has, right. So there are many certification. You need to do some research, and then based on that you can start from the basic one, then you can move to the intermediate one, and then the advanced one, right? So there are many. Anybody who is interested to understand what could be the different career path within the cybersecurity, they can just open cyberseek.org. It's a US based the portal, the website basically. There you can
I'm
understand
so
what is the
sorry to
current demand.
interrupt. Yeah, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Can you please repeat the name of the website because again we lost you. Please.
Cyberseek. Cyberseek. Yeah, yeah, it's a Cyberseek. Cyberseek.org. Cyberseek.org. It provides the complete information how many cybersecurity professionals are working in US. This is specific to US, but that is applicable across the globe, right? Cyberseek.org provides data about the US, but definitely it can be uh, narrated or interpreted across different countries within the globe, basically. And it provides the
Okay.
different aspect. If somebody is interested on the identity and access management, it will provide what is the career path they should just go in. If somebody is interested on data protection and privacy, they can just click on that particular option, and it will guide what all training certification they can go with.
Okay, so coming up to the next question, since you've been working at EY right now, right, as a senior manager in cybersecurity, so can you please tell us, Nilesh, that what were some of the challenging problems that you faced, and how did you overcome them in the job?
So basically, as I said, right, cybersecurity is challenging, the profile basically, right? So it's not always the good things happens with cybersecurity professionals, because we are in dynamic and evolving era of information technology, right? Everything is changing, and people or organization is more focused towards moving on the cloud, right? And due to this nature of cloud, threat landscape is also emerging, right? AI and machine learning is giving more power to attacker. At the same time, organization, right? The same mechanisms, or maybe the AI machine learning can be leveraged by organization to protect their organization from the security threats. At the same time, those tools are available to hackers as well, right? To make their life easier to attack or penetrate to the organizations across the board, right? So everything is dynamic. You need to be very proactive. You need to keep learning, basically, right? So if you want to build a career in cybersecurity, you cannot go away from learning, right? And there is a saying, right, like बढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है, right, in Hindi. So the same thing, if you want to sustain in cybersecurity field, you need to keep learning. You need to understand what are the emerging threats across the globe, right? based on that, you need to robust your security mechanism of within the organization. You need to keep your eyes open, to be honest. That's how it is. Other than that, there could be many challenges, right? Basically, to understand the client business, the nature of the business, the demand within the business, and based on that, you need to map your cyber security with the business needs, right? So that's what we do as a cybersecurity professional. Cybersecurity is, as I said initially, business enablers. None of the organizations keep all the servers, networks, or cybersecurity team just for the sake of fun, right? They keep those, the team, the equipments, assets, just to enable the business and make their go to market specific to the products so fast as compared to their competitors. So we need to understand the business, and based on that we need to map the cyber security related stuff to enable the business go to the market as soon as possible as compared to their competitors, and make more and more profit for the business or the organization. So it's all about the return of investment, Akriti, right? So there are many challenges, right, when I talk about, but these are the main where you need to understand the client business, the ask for an hour, and based on that you need to map the cybersecurity stuff to push that particular business needs, and give some speed, right? Ensuring that the organization is protected from the external or internal threats.
All right, so Nilesh, it's like really interesting to that you have given us insights that cybersecurity is actually a business enabler too. So this is not a lot of people talk about. So that's a really interesting take on that. So you also mentioned that cybersecurity threats are rapidly evolving. So what trends or technologies should all the aspiring cybersecurity engineers or they should watch out for so that they stay updated? What are your recommendations that what technology should people be familiar with?
So there are many, Akriti, there are many portals basically on the internet, right? Where they can, just subscribe for the newsletters, etc., right? And they will get the latest update on that. So basically, we have many newsletters. Basically, I have subscribed to many newsletters, which gives me the cyber magazines, provide the the cyber news. These are the some newsletters which provides the update about the changing threat landscape within the organization, specific to a specific industry, right? Not all threat is I would say threatening to all the organizations. There are a few threats which are specific to the industry, right? Like hospitality and healthcare, right? It could be related to consumer product and retail. It could be specific to maybe the energy sector, right? So in any organization for which you are providing support, take an example, if you are working for consumer sector organization, then you should subscribe to the threats related to consumer sector, because it is going to help you to understand what is happening across the globe, and based on that you will get the recommendation how you can protect the organizations, what all the countermeasures or the security controls you need to put in the place, right? So all those things has to be done, and the main source to understand about the changing threat landscape is the newsletters, or some sort of subscriptions to the the security newsletters basically.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. So, thank you so much for your time, Nilesh. So, before we conclude this podcast, what's like the final piece of advice you would give to all the aspiring cybersecurity professionals?
So basically, if anybody is aspiring to start their career on the cybersecurity field, then they should definitely focus on some certification. Not initially, but at least after a year or two, they should start, focusing on the some sort of security certifications. How it is going to benefit is there are many benefits, right? First of all, you are going to outperform in the crowd, right? So take an example, you along with your colleague started career at the same time with the same skill set, right? You have a certification and your colleague doesn't, right? If you both apply for a new job, then the recruiter will have a look at your resume or the CV, right? He or she is going to make the judgment or the perception based on the CV you have written, right? When you say about some cybersecurity stuff, it is just you, right? But when you have a certification from maybe ISACA, IC Square, or any maybe the product vendor, Microsoft, Azure, any of them, right? Meaning you have some third party, acknowledging your knowledge, certifying your knowledge, right? So certification gives you the strength. Your profile looks great, right? And the recruiters focus would be more towards the people who is certified along with the knowledge on the skill set, right? So that is one thing. How this certification is going to help you is it is going to help you outperform in the crowd, right? There could be many people who are same knowledgeable as you, but since you have a certifications, your point of view would be considered more concrete, and it will be given more weightage, right? So you are going to outperform in the crowd. If you have the certification, you are going to get name, fame, recognition within the organization and beyond, right? That is the one benefit. The second benefit is you are going to move up fast in the ladder within the organizations or the corporate, right? Since you have the certification, you would have additional knowledge, right? Additional terminology you will use, which is used in the cybersecurity field, right? Which will give you the more understanding, and it will help you to grow fast in your career, right? And if you are an individual who loves learning, so this is the field, right? As I said, it's dynamic, everything is evolving every day. You need to understand the what is happening across the world in terms of the threats, in terms of the tools and technologies being announced or introduced in the cyberspace. Then this would be the field if you are really interested to keep learning, right? Cybersecurity and IT security has a bright future, right? Based on the data got from the cybersec.org, right? Around 1.2 million people are employed currently, and around 750K, right? 750,000 open positions are there in the US only, right? Meaning we have lack of resources. Cybersecurity roles are not fulfilled by the existing capacity or the resources, right? So it's a very demanding field. If you are making your career, then most of the times you are going to have a job opportunities across the organizations, right? And third thing is, since you are going to have everything, you are going to give best life to your family, yourself, right? Because you are going to earn almost 25 to 35% more as compared to the non-certified people, right? So this is another advantages I would talk about, right? So cyber security certification has a lot of advantages as compared to non-certified individuals. So I would recommend everyone to just go with the cyber security certifications and keep all these pointers in the mind, right? Things are there, right? Most of the times what happens is everything is available on the YouTube, maybe the Google or the Chat GPT, but it is not just about having the resources across, right? It is about somebody who can mentor you, who can guide you, right?
Thank you so much, Nilesh, for your time. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And definitely, you've given us so much of insights and information that is, I'm sure, helpful for our viewers. Thank you so much, Nilesh.
Thank you.
So, guys, as Nilesh mentioned, that it's really important to have a mentor in your life, especially when you want to, look for the stepping stones in the cybersecurity industry. So, moving on, he also mentioned about having certifications under your belt. So, if you're interested in, learning about cybersecurity and taking certifications such as Certified Ethical Hacking version 13 or CompTIA Pen Test or any other certification, then you can check out the Cybersecurity Masters program by Network Kings, and you can start learning directly from engineers and definitely apply for various job roles such as ethical hacker, cybersecurity analyst, penetration tester, and many more. You can check out the link in the description to learn more about the Cybersecurity Masters program. Hurry up, because first 20 students to enroll in the Cybersecurity Masters program are going to get up to 15% off.